Oh, no.
Never fails. Ready?
No, that's
You're
out of
listening
bounds.
to The Scrimmage with Daniel Hargrove and Justin Domashevitz.
Oklahoma. I was trying to think of a local thing. Wait, no, wait. I got a better one.
Okay.
Ocean Shores. I needed a local angle for it.
Okanagan?
See, this comes up because I have a counterpart who comes from Okanagan, and she said she was in a performance of Oklahoma in Okanagan, and she said, hey, can we just say Okanagan? And they're like, no, we can't do that. And they're like, no, it even spells like the same amount of letters, because there's a part in the song apparently that spells out Oklahoma. Apparently Okanagan's the same. And she was like, yeah, they wouldn't let us do it. I was like, you should have done it anyway.
Unacceptable.
What do you mean they wouldn't let you do it?
Them?
They?
Who,
the
the
people?
man?
Those guys? The man. Don't listen to the man. Sorry.
This is the scrimmage.
Okanagan. I guess it really doesn't go with the scrimmage, does it?
No. What's Okanagan like? Do you talk to this person? Like, it's one, I don't know, like the town. What's the area like?
Oh, the town? I don't know too much about the town, but our buddy Greg used to live in Okanagan County.
Okay.
He lived in Orville.
Which exists.
Yeah, it's a place. Mm-hmm. It's actually a place on a lake. Like, it seems pretty nice, except for it's not for some reason.
Okanagan
it's weird.
County. Like, is Okanagan a town and it's the name of the county?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if it's the county seat.
So crap.
I love a county seat. Yeah, you do.
I think right on the other side of the border, the Canadian side is like super populated and like this wine country and all kinds of stuff. And then on the other side of the border, it's basically just like an Eastern Washington town.
Like out of middle of nowhere town.
It's like Eastern Washington town.
Well, you got to remember, like, it's on the
go?
southernmost border on a lake of Canada, so it's probably like the hottest summer spot of all time. And people are like, "Yeah, dude, we're going south for the summer." And people in Washington are like, "Let's go south for the summer."
Yeah.
Although isn't it hot down south?
I just
I'm
wonder,
getting
like,
old. I don't want that no more.
Nick's in the comments, and congratulations, Nick, on the new baby.
Yes.
Oh, congratulations, man.
Nick's wife had a baby girl.
Baby girl,
Yes.
nice.
She is beautiful. Saw pictures of her on Facebook. Yes, big congratulations
Wonderful.
to Nick. Then in the comments of that, people were asking him if he could come broadcast the second half of a basketball game since the baby was born. Baby's born now. You can come broadcast the game.
Yeah. Priorities, man. Priorities.
Forrest said Okanagan is the county seat of Okanagan County. How did I start? Was that Kashmir? What was I doing with the county?
I think it was Kashmir. Yeah, it was Kashmir.
Because they were bulldogs.
Yep. But wasn't it Chelan County?
Oh, it was. I was so wrong. But
Yeah.
That's normal for me.
Yeah, Nick, that Trico. I'm thinking there could be a 4-place sweep there. It's gonna be tough.
Well, I think the hard part now is you. So Le Center's like good, like a legitimately good team, right?
Le Center's like good.
So
yes,
the
Le
winner
Center
of
is like
this,
good.
The Le Center is like good.
They're like good.
If I'm looking at the most likely outcomes, the winner of the Monty Elma game, which I believe is Tuesday.
Yes.
Wednesday has to play Le Center next. So, and that's for a state berth. And that's assuming that Le Center loses their game to, I think, is it Seton Catholic? Whatever it is. When I was looking at the most likely outcomes.
Here, sorry, I'm bringing up the boys bracket.
Yeah. But then Tenino, if they win their game, then they would play Kingsway Christian. And Kingsway Christian, not bad. I would say, like, like they're kind of on the level. I know they beat Monty by 15, but that game was actually a lot closer.
Dude, Seton Catholic.
Doggy.
Seton Catholic put up 100.
Okay, so
dude, not even any of the teams I played on put up 100, and that was back when people scored points.
It might be the
you
most.
Had a guy that could literally stand next to the basket and just put it in.
And we didn't even make it to the playoffs, and we put up 90.
Who did they score 100 on?
Columbia White Salmon.
Okay, yeah. The only reason that I brought any of that up is because I think the most likely evergreen path to one of those berths probably is Tenino, because they would play Kingsway Christian. And I watched Kingsway Christian play for a half. They're good, but I don't think they're like head and shoulder. We talked all season about how we think that basically the four, definitely the top three, but you could also put Hoquiam in that group with those like four teams that were pretty close to the same, being on the same level.
Yeah.
I would put Kingsway Christian on that level with those teams.
Okay.
So it wouldn't surprise me at all if Tenino could pull off a win against Kingsway Christian.
Gotcha.
But it would be a little bit surprising if one of the other local teams could pull off an upset over La Center.
Okay. And yet it also would not surprise me if Tenino lost to Columbia White Salmon.
No, because all of these teams have proven that they can lose to anyone on any day.
Yes, that's so true. Yeah.
So there's a chance.
I mean, the Trico Forrest does say the Trico teams are all good.
I wasn't trying to throw shade at any of them, just in case any of my comments were interpreted. No, I think they're all good. I think because when Kingsway, I was saying that's the Trico 4.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was saying I think they're like on the level with all the the group of teams at the top of our league.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you got nice little private school Seton Catholic, who's amazing.
Yeah.
You got a nice little private school Kingsway Christian. You got La Center, who's kind of a Montesano-like town, but I picture them as more of a basketball school than football. They are a good football team, but they've
become a very good football school.
But they've been a good basketball school for a while, I feel like.
La Center's story of football is always get a high seed and our season ends with a fart.
Yeah, exactly. I was teeing that up for you just because I like to hear you say end in a fart.
That's La Center's football motto.
And then Fort Vancouver, which isn't Fort Vancouver a bigger school? But since they've been so trash for so long, they get to play in the 1A this year, and now they're accidentally good at basketball or something like that?
They might actually be 1A now.
Are they actually 1A?
I'd have to go back and look at
have to ask Nick.
The classifications. But
Nick, I know you don't have anything like you need to be busy with, helping with a baby girl or anything.
Yeah, but
it's
Fort
always
Vancouver's not good usually at like pretty much anything.
Yeah, but it's just funny looking at like this Trico league. It almost surprises me that they've not been good for so long. Like it's like their last couple years, it's like, oh, this league's pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's a struggle for the Evergreen to be back when like this league first shifted, like there was multiple years where it's like 3 out of the 4 teams were from the Evergreen. Yeah. Like that was a fairly common occurrence. Mm-hmm. This is a bunch of Vancouver schools.
Well, we went through a really long stretch
in Vancouver suburbs
where Hoquiam was really competitive basically every year.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like when Eccles was there,
yep.
It was they weren't always great, but they were always competitive pretty much. Monty has not been generally a very competitive basketball team, but they did make state 2018, 19, somewhere in that range.
Somewhere in there.
So it's been a little back and forth. I think the driver of it is Seton Catholic, because Seton Catholic went from being like, I mean, it's a very small school.
Yeah.
But they've suddenly become athletically prestigious out of nowhere.
Yeah. Shocker.
Isn't it amazing? Like
super weird how that happens.
A private school could go from not being that great in sports to all of a sudden being prestigious in all sports.
Wait. Nick says, I'm Fort Vancouver's biggest hater. Oh, that's Justin, my guy. The only Vancouver suburbs is Fort and Seton. No, I'm saying La Center is a Vancouver suburb. It's pretty close.
Is it a Vancouver suburb or
is Portland
both
suburb?
Vancouver and La Center Portland suburb.
Portland's like La Center is.
Yeah, Forrest says it's NIL for Seton Catholic.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think it's not. I mean, I'm not accusing any athletes of taking any money.
No,
but
no,
what
that's
we're
not
saying
what we're
is,
saying.
What we're saying
That's
is
not
a
what we're
private
saying.
school with resources, which decides, hey, we're going to emphasize sports, has a much bigger advantage over a public school who would decide the same things.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Partly because of the recruiting radius, and they're in Vancouver,
Yes.
which is one of the biggest cities that we have in our district.
Yes.
So
exactly. You literally call them fart Vancouver.
Yeah, you did. You did that. That's true. Nick, thank you for remembering that.
Yeah, you got me. Yep, Nick, 100%. Yeah.
Nick's just slinging comments
Yeah,
now. He's on a
feeling
high.
good.
He's got
like, my broadcast
Yeah,
channel's
dude,
amazing. I got a new baby
Yes.
girl.
He says that La Center is 15 miles away from Vancouver. Yeah, that's a suburb, my guy. Like, am I wrong in this? Like, if
we all know that Montesano and Elma are suburbs of Aberdeen.
But no,
like
like is Bellevue not like a
Something you just-
is Bellevue not like a suburb of Seattle? It's way more than 15 miles away from Seattle.
No, Seattle's a suburb of Bellevue by GDP.
By
or
GDP. Dude, 15 miles away. That's like, with the 70-mile-an-hour speed limit, that's like a 10-minute commute. Like, people are living in La Center and going to work in Vancouver, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I-5, all of I-5 is a suburb. Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, dude, the way that like online work and stuff, like work from home and stuff like that, has expanded. I-5 is just like growing from Seattle and then from Vancouver, like up. It's crazy to see the amount of development that is just climbing up the I-5 corridor and climbing down the I-5 corridor, and they're all like meeting in Lewis County, and Lewis County's going, no.
You just wait till Doge gets its hands on the private sector. Everybody's going back to work. There's no more work from home. Get in your office.
Oh man. Anyway,
we do have a lot of great stuff to talk
do
about.
we?
We have
I
our
thought we were just gonna argue about La Center
defensive
for a while.
all league teams
And fart Vancouver.
There's wrestling, basketball, so much good stuff. We also have to name a Spivey Athlete of the Week. I think it's going to be a fun conversation there. But let's go ahead and kick things off here. We had a cold open for like 16 minutes, but let's kick things off here with the local sports roundup. Montesano placed first as a team at the District 4 1B, 2B, 1A girls wrestling meet on Friday in Montesano. Hoquiam placed 6th, Raymond South Bend 9th, and North Beach 10th. Juliana Smith won the 110-pound title, and Emma Peterson won the 150-pound class for Monty. Carly Watson and Angelina Brunzi each picked up a third-place finish for the Bulldogs, while Addison Plummer, Kiara Wisenhunt, Hadley Erickson, and Nicole Fraherd, sorry, I didn't do a good job of figuring out how to pronounce that name, each took 4th. North Beach's Myra Strandberg won the 115-pound class with a title match win over Hoquiam's Emily Broadhead. Hoquiam's Mirabel Mazariegos won the 140-pound class with a title match win over her teammate, Brittany Alcala. Raymond South Bend's Nina Siribun won the 235-pound bracket. Lots of really good girls wrestling going on locally.
Absolutely. Aberdeen's girls finished at the top of the team standings at the 2A District 4 girls wrestling meet in Vancouver on Saturday. The Bobcats racked up 271.5 points, topping second place Balake Hills with 63.5 points. Micah Turpin won the 105-pound weight class with a win over teammate Daisy Vesey. Felicia Bell won the 125-pound weight. So they took first and second from the same team in the same weight class? That's impressive. Sorry. Felicia Bell won the 125 class, and Cadence Broughton won 140. Lander Flock, Asha Martin, and Micah Good each notched a second-place finish. Trinity Stone placed third, and Abigail Warmoth fourth.
Be ready
Wow.
for the MAC Classic results.
Holy smokes.
State wrestling, there's going to be a lot of local athletes Moving on to the boys now. Elma won its second straight 1A Evergreen League title last Saturday with 5 Eagle wrestlers winning their weight classes. Xavier Espinosa won the 113-pound class for Elma. Aiden Johnson won 126. Troy Roop took 138. He's a freshman. Blaze Salazar won 144, and Rusty Johnson claimed 157. Montesano placed second in the team standings with weight class wins from Finley Erickson at 106, Gage Stutzman at 165, Gabe Pahala at 175, Felix Romero at 215, and Logan Roberts at 285. Hoquiam finished third with titles from Junior Soto at 120, Burton Chavis at 132, Kingston Case at 150, and Oliver Bryson at 190. 15 Elma wrestlers, 11 Monty wrestlers, and 8 Hoquiam wrestlers have secured a spot at the Matt Classic.
I'm sorry, my shocked face was apparently Evco 2A went 0-4 at districts to the GS8, the GHSL, GSHL.
I'm not super surprised about that either. This was a down year for Evergreen 2A basketball.
Gotcha. So. Even for WF West.
WF West, Tumwater, Black Hills were all kind of in the same class up at the top, and none of them was like particularly regarded as like a great team.
Mavis is going hard with the equipment right now.
That's also at least 50% my fault.
Also, last Saturday, Aberdeen's boys placed third as a team in the 2A Evergreen Conference Wrestling meet in Black Hills. Ryder Lessard won the 120 class for the Bobcats. Glennie Black won 138, and Landon Hamlin took 285. 11 Aberdeen wrestlers qualified for the state meet by finishing in the top 5 in their respective weight classes at the league meet. 5 additional Bobcat wrestlers qualified for state with crossover dual wins on Tuesday in Longview.
Hoquiam closed out its boys basketball regular season with a 53-44 home win over Aberdeen last Saturday, avenging an earlier murder. Whoa! Let me try that again. Avenging an earlier Myrtle Street rivalry loss. Grizzly sophomore Lincoln Nemi led all scorers with 26 points while also racking up 11 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 assists. That's a big-time game for a sophomore in this rivalry. Taryn Lewis led the Bobcats with 18 points, and Jacob Cusada chipped in 11 for Aberdeen. Hoquiam's season came to an end on Monday with a 69-58 district pigtail loss at Columbia White Salmon. Nemi led the Grizzlies with 18 points and 8 assists in the defeat, and Riker Maxfield had a unique double-double with 10 points, 10 steals, and 4 assists.
10 steals in a boys' pigtail game. That's crazy.
And Joey Bozich led Hoquiam with 11 rebounds.
Montesano's boys basketball team dropped a district opener at home 65-50 on Wednesday. Colton Grubb, Tarek Gunter, and Mason Fry each scored 11 points for the Bulldogs in the loss. Monty will face elimination on Wednesday when they host rival Elma.
Speaking of Elma's boys basketball team, the Eagles lost a district opener at Fart Vancouver on Wednesday, 68-55. Recently crowned Defensive League MVP Isaac McGaffey had a solid all-around performance with 20 points, 7 rebounds, 4 steals, and 4 blocks. And Traden Carter added 19 points, 7 boards, and 2 steals.
Aberdeen's boys basketball team suffered a season-ending district pigtail loss at Washougal on Wednesday, 75-44. Taryn Lewis led the Bobcats with 15 points while also pulling down 6 rebounds. Isaac Garcia added 6 points and a team-best 9 boards and 4 steals.
Ocasta's boys basketball team secured a 1B Coastal League number 2 seed on Monday with a 71-46 win over Nacelle. Caden Turner and Sonny Beard scored 18 points apiece to lead the Wildcats. Turner added 7 rebounds, and Beard recorded 10 boards and 3 steals. Dalton Welch chipped in 14 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals. Ocasta advanced to the district's semifinal round with a 50-42 district opening home win over PL on Wednesday. Turner led all scorers with 17 points to go along with 6 rebounds. Agramon and Beard each scored 9, and Beard added 11 boards, 4 steals, and 6 blocks.
Wow.
The Wildcats will face Columbia Adventist in Adna on Monday, with the winner securing a state tourney berth.
Fear the Beard. Willapa Valley's boys basketball team beat Oakville 68-31 on Wednesday in a 1B District 4 tourney opener. Brody Oust and Aiden Sleva scored 11 points apiece for the Vikings, and Nathan Fluke chipped in 10. Blaine King, Brody Ritzman, and J.B. Russell added 8 points apiece for Valley, while Russell and Ritzman each grabbed 6 boards. The Vikings will face Wahkiakum in a district semifinal on Monday, with the winner securing a state tourney berth.
Have you ever said Wahkiakum normal?
Never, my guy.
Wahkiakum!
Never.
I can't
it
remember.
Looks like somebody's spelling out. It looks like somebody's spelling out like a Street Fighter move.
I also can't remember the last time.
Wahkiakum!
I also can't remember the last time you said Wednesday.
I don't know what you're saying.
Montesano's girls basketball team won a district tourney opener at home over Kalama on Wednesday, 74-40. Recently crowned defensive league MVP Tiander Olsen, she's really good.
Yes.
Led the Bulldogs with 25 points, 8 rebounds, 7 steals, and 7 assists and 9 steals. By the way, if you missed that, that's 6 stats away from a quadruple double. She's really good. Jilly Dalen chipped in 13 points and 9 boards, and Ava Schrader added 9 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 steals. Monty will host Kingsway Christian in a district semifinal on Tuesday.
Oakland's girls basketball team also won a district opener at home on Wednesday, 42-35. I was at that game over Columbia White Salmon. Sydney Gordon led the Grizzlies in scoring with 14 points while also pulling down 10 boards. The league's queen of the boards, Aaliyah Kennedy, also recorded a double-double with 13 points and 13 rebounds and 3 steals. Caitlin Broadhead added 9 points and 6 steals.
That's just a typical game for Aaliyah Kennedy.
Yes.
She just does that in her sleep.
Yep.
Elma's girls basketball team lost a district opener 61-25 at Kingsway Christian on Wednesday. Olivia Moore led the Eagles with 11 points, and Kiki Bowl chipped in 5. Elma will face elimination on Tuesday when they host Kalama.
Also, stay tuned to hear the story of that Hoquiam girls game. Wild game. Some of the weirdest things happened to that game for a team to still win fairly comfortably. Aberdeen's girls basketball season came to an end on Wednesday with a 68-52 district pigtail loss to Washougal on Wednesday. Wednesday twice, nice.
Is it every word that starts with W?
Maybe. I don't know.
Washougal, Wednesday, and Wahkiakum.
What did you just say? Bentley Brown scored 18 points for the Bobcats. Abby Manio added 13, and Olivia Lamont chipped in 11 to go along with 8 boards.
Raymond South Bend's girls basketball team won a District 4 quarterfinal against Onalaska on Tuesday, 49-45. Cassie Koski, she's really good, yes, led the Ravens with 20 points, and Ava Bauer chipped in a 17-point, 14-rebound double-double. RSB will face Rainier in a semifinal game on Tuesday.
Tahola's girls basketball team earned the 1B Coastal League's top seed with a 53-48 win over Willapa Valley. Malia Plouffe led the Chipmans with 15 points. Shirley Mae Stafford added 13. Tyler Keaton recorded a double-double for the Vikings with 18 points and 12 rebounds.
Mavis wants to say something into the microphone. Willapa Valley bounced back with a 42-39 district tourney opening home win over Oakville on Friday. Tyler Keaton led the Vikings with 15 points, 12 rebounds, 4 steals, and also made the game-winning basket with 14 seconds left.
Nice.
Paisley Hurley and Addison Merkel scored 8 points apiece for Valley, which will face PL in a district semifinal on Tuesday in Adna, with the winner securing a state playoff berth.
Aberdeen took second overall in the team standings at District 4 2A Boys Swimming Championships on Saturday. Just 6.5 points behind Hawkinson. Oh, hate those guys. Again, that just goes back to a random old Daniel Playing Days thing, as usual. And will compete in 8 events. Great, now we're demonetized in Russia. And will compete in 8 events next weekend's State 2A Boys Swimming and Diving Meet. Jacob Halleck won the district title in the 100 breaststroke and will compete in 4 events, including the 200 individual medley and 2 relays. Cole Nylander shared the district title with Mark Morris Anakin Eisenhart in the 100 breaststroke and will compete in 3 events at state, including 2 relays. Denny Linker backstopped all 3 relays and qualified in the 200 IM to compete in 4 events at state. Zeke Olsen will also compete in 4 events at state, diving, 100 fly, and 2 relays. Micah Schroeder, who has already qualified for state and diving last week as the District 4 2A champion, was a member of the state qualifying 200 freestyle relay. Cooper Gill was a member of both state qualifying freestyle relays.
I'm glad you had to read that one because that was long. But that's the end of the local sports roundup.
Nick says, give the GSHL some credit, Justin. It's not just that the Evergreen's down, but they're really good.
No,
they have 3 teams in the top 8.
Yes.
So that'd be, I'd assume, Mark Morris, R.A. Long. Who's the other team would you assume would be the...
I'm sure Nick will answer. And
Nick will answer.
You know what? He's totally right. I did not mean to demean the GHSL.
You were just saying that.
WPKFC.
Wow. Didn't see that going
order,
that way.
Greater St.
Yeah, I always mess that up.
GSHL.
It's GSHL.
Yeah. I didn't mean to discredit them at all. They're very good. I mean.
Yeah, you were just more saying that WF West has been very good in the past, and Tumwater
has been pretty good.
Too.
And also Black Hills is significantly improved this year.
Yeah,
like this Black Hills team is pretty good.
Columbia River.
There's not a team at the top of the Evergreen 2A that's like, oh yeah, that's a state competitive team.
Right.
And the Greater St. Helens League has 3.
Yeah.
So they have multiple teams that are very good, and
2 in one town.
Similarly, the Evergreen 2A, they're not like bad.
Yeah.
But they have a few teams at the top that are all just kind of pretty good.
Yeah. Dude, could you imagine like growing up in youth basketball in Longview like 12 years ago?
Yeah.
Like, do they all play at the same YMCA when they're like 5 or 6 years old? And there's just like 20 kids who are all studs?
Yeah, I don't know. I've got, for whatever reason,
that's nuts.
Monty Basketball has decided to play RA Long and have them on the schedule.
That's a terrible idea.
And they're so good. Like, even the Monty team last year, that was my son's senior year, when they made it to state, and they were actually a very good team.
Yeah.
They got annihilated by R.A. Long.
I remember that. They
Delon
posted
Chan couldn't do anything.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah.
He also says Ridgefield is the best 4th place team in any league in the state. I believe him.
Yeah.
Also, Glory Days.
You don't like Ridgefield?
No, I don't mind Ridgefield.
Okay.
The Spudders, I don't really care. No, Glory Days, though. My senior year, River Ridge took 5th in the Evergreen 2A and 3rd at state.
Where is River Ridge now? Are they?
They're 3A school, I
Okay.
think. We were all
Still
2A
the
at the
same
time.
place that you
But yeah, exactly.
Okay, good.
I don't think the school's moved.
I think I just meant like,
But
why
how
aren't
wild
they
is
in our
that?
league anymore?
Like, that's why people were like, oh, you didn't even make the playoffs? And I'm like, yeah, no, we missed out barely to River Ridge, who took 5th in our league, and then 3rd at state. So, yeah, I'm sorry I missed the playoffs.
You think River Ridge is the county seat? Or
100%. River Ridge is not even a town, but it's the county seat of Thurston County.
Okay.
Yeah. Whoa, I just pulled Thurston County out of my butt there. Did you know that was the county?
How did you fit all of Thurston County in your butt?
My butt's pretty big.
Oh, wow. So we got a couple things that I wanted to rattle off quickly here. I got some info from Jeff Catterlin, who is the Elma wrestling coach.
Oh, cool.
And I've got a full list of the state qualifiers. So they do... Wrestling's a little different, and I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on it, but they do these like league meets, but they call them district meets because...
But what if I want you to pretend to be an expert on it?
I'm an expert on wrestling playoffs and how they work.
Sweet.
They do league meets, but they call them district meets, I believe, because a bunch of the wrestlers get straight to state. Like if you finish, I want to say it's like top 3. It might be different for different leagues. Okay. But if you finish within a certain range, you automatically qualify for state. And then, so I think that's sub-districts. And then you play you have another meet where the wrestlers who were just outside of qualifying wrestle against the other league in your district.
Okay.
And that determines the remainder of the state berths. Okay. So there was the league meet, and like a certain number of wrestlers qualified, and then they wrestled again a couple days ago, and that rounded out the state qualifiers.
Gotcha.
So I have the full list for Elma. Jordan Meadows with a second place finish, Xavier Espinoza with a first place finish, Luis Torres third, Colin Chandler fourth, and he was one of the ones I believe had to win a pigtail. I guess like it's a pigtail, it's the second one you have to go win against the other league. Aiden Johnson first, Ben Totten second, Troy Roop first, Blaze Salazar first, Bryston Crawford third, Caden Rodemacher third, Rusty Johnson first, Liam McManus third, Lucky Duvier third, Liam Bowling third, Levi Russell third, Donovan Kalikoski third, and Alex Dryden second. The only 3 seniors on this list are Meadows, Salazar, and Rusty Johnson. All the rest of those guys are back for another year.
Dang, that's crazy.
Elma and Monty wrestling, but like specifically what Elma's done this year has been really incredible. Also 3 girls for Elma qualified: Olivia Mason, Kaylin Brown, and Gracie Bishop, and and that's under first year head coach Ariel Brazel. But also Elma's boys assistant coaching staff of Cody Sample, Corey Marsh, Dennis Purcell, Curtis Young, and Zach Roop were nominated by the league's coaches to represent the league in the assistant staff of the year at the state tournament. So that's a group of people who's done a lot of really good stuff. And then on the Monty side, I have a list of the state qualifiers. They had Finley Eckerson, who had a first place finish, Adam Schmitz, second place, Cruz Vargas, fourth place, Hank Cleverly, second place, Alex Sahlstrom, fourth place, Cole Kesbu, second place, Ben Howard, second, Gage Stutzman, first, Gabe Pahala, first, Joel McCullough, fourth, Kyle Caton, second, Felix Romero, first, Luis Contreras, third, Logan Roberts, first, and Lucas Delgado, fourth. So both of those schools have a ton of qualifiers for the MAC Classic. Hoquiam also, they don't have like quite the depth of these teams, but they do, like Junior Soto, Kingston Case, like those kids have been...
Bryson,
who
just had his 100th
Oliver
win,
Bryson.
Right? Yeah, Oliver Bryson.
Those kids have been winning all year.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling, like, and the girls' side too, tons of qualifiers. Monty's girls wrestling team is really good. Mm-hmm. Aberdeen has Felicia Bell and a bunch of other good wrestlers, and the boys' side on Aberdeen has some too. I have a feeling when the MAC Classic rolls around, we're going to be getting a ton of state placers this year.
Yep, for sure.
Which is going to make next weekend's Spivey Athlete of the Week really interesting when you're not around to help me decide it.
Yes,
so
that's a good point.
Yeah.
But
the other thing we need to review before
my dad asked how many weight classes are there, and I said a ton, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a ton weight class, Daniel.
There's an unlimited weight class.
Big.
There's an unlimited bigger than 285.
I think 285 is the last weight class, and then the next one after that's unlimited, I believe.
Unlimited.
It's the one Russell Wilson.
It's the Russell Wilson weight class.
Unlimited. Gotcha. The only other thing we need to review before we take a break and then name a Spivey Athlete of the Week is the Evergreen State College.
The Evergreen State College.
Jalen Sackrider.
Yeah.
Who is playing right now, and we don't know exactly how that game's going out. But
all I know is that every time I look over, people drive into the lane, and then they run away in fear because she will block it in their face.
Yeah.
Like it's happened like 12 times. Or they'll even pass it to the other tall girl in the paint, and she'll turn around and be like, nah, and then pass the ball back outside.
Yesterday, they had senior night yesterday, and she got a block. She got like 8 blocks, but she got one block where the girl didn't get the ball off of her shoulder. Like it was just like crumple underneath.
For those who don't know, awesome. Jalen Sackrider, an Elma High School alum. She is playing basketball at the Evergreen State College. She had yesterday on senior night 15 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 blocks.
Yes. Almost got the triple-double.
Also, her blocks are consistently underscored.
Yeah, she should get 2 blocks for those
It's a thing
blocks.
that I have noticed that she doesn't get credited for as many blocks as...
That's awesome. She was 7 for 14 on field goals and added a free throw to help out on offense. Jeez.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
I think she went 1 for 1 from the free throw line, so 100%.
Absolutely.
Way to go, Jalen.
Yep. And the last I saw, they were winning. They're playing Corbin today. They played Bushnell yesterday in that game. Should we take a break, and then should I tell the story of the Oakwam's weird playoff game?
Yeah.
Should we do that after the break?
Yeah, let's do that after
Okay.
the break. Well, so I'll throw it to break. Are you about to leave for totally normal reasons?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
I was scratching my ear. That's why I took my headphones off for a little bit.
I had a random thought that, I'm sorry, I didn't mean, I was trying to anticipate you.
No, I appreciate it. It's what I would normally do.
Okay. I just had a random thought that was like.
Also, wait a second. Hold up.
Yeah.
This is totally off the wall.
Yeah.
But they're the Evergreen State College. But their background on their little commercial in between timeouts of the string, it's like an oak tree. It's like the background is an oak tree of their little thing. And it's like, dude, you're the Evergreen State College. Have some evergreen trees, man. Jeez.
Get it together, Evergreen.
Get together, gooey ducks.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I think it's kind of cool that they stream their games on YouTube.
Absolutely. Yes.
We're going to start
100%.
our own Evergreen College, and then we'll be
think-
the Evergreen College.
I think every school should stream their games.
We'll be the other Evergreen College.
Most
Anyway,
schools are streaming their games at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, most colleges are selling the rights to stream the games to major networks.
Are you talking about higher divisions? Though?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I was talking about all colleges. should do
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah. Remember, Andrew's way to fix college athletics is they aren't allowed to sell
Yeah.
the rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can get with that. The one thought that I had that I just wanted to say briefly before we go into commercial break is that I feel as a whole, and I don't want any individual teams to take this as a shot, but as a whole, our basketball is kind of down
Yeah.
this year.
Well, comparatively, yes.
So the other sports, between swim and dive and wrestling, are really making up for it, man. We got
That's
some
true.
really, really talented swimmers, divers, and wrestlers
That's true.
that are going to be doing some big things at state. So keep an eye on that. We're not the best at covering those, but when people do give us the information, we will pass it on to you. And we'll still talk a lot of basketball.
Francis says, be deciduous or be nothing. Team Evergreen. Shut up, Francis.
All right. Well, we'll name a Spivey Athlete of the Week on the other side of this commercial break. Do you have a legal situation and need someone on your side? Let the law office of Jeffrey A. Domashevitz be your advocate. If you've been the victim of medical malpractice, suffered a personal injury, or need representation with real estate law, small business law, or estate planning, let Jeff Domashevitz put his 29 years of experience to work for you. Call Jeff Domashevitz today at 360-612-3991 or visit domashevitzlaw.com. That's DAMASIEWICZLAW.com.
Quick, recite that website.
DAMASIEWICZLAW.com.
Wow, you're really good at that.
You're really good at spelling that name. Why are you so good at spelling that name? Are you related?
No relation.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you what's the A stand for. I guess we'll never know. Thank you to our sponsors, the Law Office of Jeffrey A. Domashevitz and the Spivey Realty Group. Still our sponsors. We must be doing something right.
Not a lot.
But something.
It's Andrew.
Yeah, that's true. So I went to and broadcasted by the way, one of these times it'd be nice to broadcast a game with Nick. That'd be cool.
That'd be dope.
Nick's really good. I really appreciated his broadcast that I hopped on 2 minutes of when R.A. Long, or is it Mark Morris? One of the teams was destroying Kelso or about to destroy Kelso, and I hopped on and I was like, go Kelso! And then 5 minutes later I was like, oh. Ooh. If you would tell me, Justin,
Yeah.
listen to these stats,
Okay.
and tell me if you think that this team did well.
Okay.
This team had a scoring drought of over 6 minutes.
That's not good.
They had another scoring drought. That was in the second quarter.
Okay.
In the third quarter, they had another scoring drought of over 7 minutes.
Oh, that's real bad.
And then in the fourth quarter, they had an almost 5 minute scoring drought.
That's most of the game.
During the 7-minute scoring drought in the third quarter. The other team went on an 18-0 run.
That's bad.
Yeah. Do you think that team wins the game?
I think they lost by 20.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Nope, they won.
Oh.
They won by 7 points. That team won by 7 points.
Okay.
It was the weirdest game I've ever watched with that. So Hoke Williams girls got up to a 19-5 lead in the first quarter. They then went on a massive scoring drought of over 6 minutes in the second quarter, but their defense was really good in that quarter, and they still outscored their opponent 11-7, thanks to, I think, a scoring flurry for like the last a minute of the quarter. Like put in a couple buckets, like all right at the last second. Then in the third quarter, they forget how to basketball, and the other team, Columbia White Salmon, goes on an 18-0 run to start the third quarter. And then with 17 seconds left, Oak Williams like, oh, yeah, basketball, and scores 5 points right at the end of the third quarter to take a 5-point lead into the fourth quarter. And then after that, it was just a defensive slog towards the end. They outscored Columbia White 7-5 in the fourth quarter, and they get the win. I talked to Coach Allen, head coach Chad Allen, after the game, and I was like, what just happened? And I told him the scoring droughts, and he was like, yeah, it was a really physical, messy game. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Aaliyah couldn't buy a blocking call. And he was like, yeah, no. And I started thinking back to it, and she was like, she would drive and just get like body checked. And he was like, yeah, there weren't very many fouls called. And then I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense of why it was kind of low scoring and why it was hard, especially for Hoke Williams, a team that likes to get inside. A lot of their points come in the paint with Aaliyah and with Sydney, and that makes it hard to score when you're getting mugged a lot. But it's not like it wasn't unevenly officiated, because on the other side, there was some pretty physical play going on. And I actually was like, hey, one of the players that I saw in this game, she only had 3 points, but Austin Kapoman in the fourth quarter alone had a block and 3 steals. And the 3 steals were like just taking the ball away from one of the better players for Columbia White Salmon and just being like, nope, that's my ball now. And just shut her down, grab the ball. And I was like, yeah, Austin played great defense in the fourth quarter. And he was like, yeah, well, with how physical that game was, we felt like Austin was well prepared to play that style of ball. And I was like, oh, you basically just told me that Austin knows how to just play really physical and just be like, oh, no fouls are being called? I know how to play like this, and just take the ball from people. And she did, because I had her for 3 steals in that fourth quarter, but the amount of tips, knocking the ball away, and one of her teammates picking it up so they get the steal was a ton. And so it kind of explained that, yes, this was a bizarre game, but there was a bit of a reason behind it that I didn't, as I'm broadcasting, I was just flabbergasted. I'm like, how is this possible? How is this happening? But for the most part, there weren't many whistles in this game. And that led to really just bizarre scoring trends that I hadn't really seen before. It was very weird. Yeah.
Sounds weird.
Yeah.
I think,
again, 3 scoring droughts of over 5 minutes and an 18-0 run by the other team, and you win by 7.
So if I go back to what we talked about in our basketball preview show,
yeah,
and we're talking about this Evergreen 1A Girls League. And
Yep.
It's like, well, Monty is kind of clearly king of the hill.
Yep.
They've been the best team for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
And they have Jilly Dalen and Tiander Olsen.
Yep.
And they're both amazing.
Yep.
We didn't quite see the emergence of Ava Schrader coming out as big as she did, but
Right.
we knew they were a really good team. And it was like, Hoke Williams, really young, super athletic, and the word that we described, the way that we anticipated them playing, was interesting.
Yes.
It was like, this is going to be a really fun team to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee you, I didn't see it myself, but that game was interesting.
It was so interesting.
And they have come out on top more often than not
Yep.
this season. And really, I think, like, I feel like we were hyping them up at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
talking, because the Hoke Williams girls basketball hasn't been super great very recently.
Right.
And we've been excited about this group of athletes. I think we were kind of hyping them up. I didn't really think they were going to end up being quite as good as they are.
Yeah.
I think the depth of players that they have surprised me a little bit, but they've been really good. And I mean, we teased this a little bit. This year's team is really good. Next 1 or 2 years, this is going to, assuming all these girls stick with it and continue to develop, this is going to be a group that competes for a state trophy.
Yeah. And 2 seniors on the team right now.
Yeah.
Both of them do start. Caitlin Broadhead, who's
very good
defensively, and somehow quietly got 6 steals. Yeah. Let's put it that way. Like if you can get 6 steals, and I went, she had 6 steals. She's very good defensively. And Nadine Stewart is the other one. She starts as well, kind of splits time for him. So yeah, they're losing a couple of good pieces, but the amount of depth that they have of athletes, and then more I've heard coming up in the pipeline as well.
Yeah,
this is going to be a very interesting Oakwim girls basketball program over the next few years.
So this year, to me, I'd say like we went with interesting at the beginning, exciting.
Yeah,
that's where I am.
Yep.
The next 2 years, like legitimate competitors.
Yeah. And it was funny. So they're going on this 19-5 run in the first quarter, and I'm pontificating. I'm like, the Grizzlies are showing that they're ready for this level. 5 minutes later, we're gonna see how they deal with this adversity. They haven't scored in way too long. Yeah. But that was another thing that I thought was kind of cool looking back on it. After going through that amount of drought, that amount of adversity, giving up 18 straight points to the other team, losing a huge lead, you could crack pretty easily under that pressure. You could fall apart, and they didn't. They battled back. They listened to their coach. They stuck to their game plan, and they went and got the win.
Yeah.
Yeah. In their first attempt at a district tournament game with a lot of these freshmen on the squad.
Right.
Yep.
Well, let's run through our list of Spivey Athlete of the Week nominees. We had Jalen Sackrider from the Evergreen State College for her great performance on senior night in a Gooey Duck win.
Geo Ducks.
Also just finishing out her college career tonight.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. That's crazy.
Oh, man.
It makes me feel old.
Yeah, can you take that back, actually?
Yeah.
I don't want you to have said that.
She's listed at 6'3" on their basketball program, too? Yeah. Take that, Johanna, who says that she's only 6 foot. She's listed at 6'3" on the basketball program. She was listed at 6'3" in Elma. Johanna says that Jalen's only 6 foot. And I said, no, she towers over me. And then Hannah goes, yeah, Daniel, she towers over you.
Daniel talks real proud when
you might have
Johanna
shrunk.
Isn't here.
You might have shrunk, though. You're in your mid-30s
Oh.
now. You're knocking on the door of middle age, buddy.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't know what good numbers necessarily are, but I have her 4-year totals if you're interested.
Yeah.
What are the numbers that are worth looking at?
I would probably say, since we don't know how many games she played, is there like points per game, rebounds per game? Like, is there averages?
She finished with an average of over 4 years, 9.8 points per game.
Nice.
She finished with a total of 61 steals, 179 blocks.
Whoa.
That's more blocks than most people have in their whole life across all levels of basketball that they'll ever play, including pickup games.
Her career over the 4 years, her field goal percentage was .396.
Yeah.
Does it say how many games she played, Andrew?
Yeah.
She started 89 games and played 91 games.
91, and
And what was the total blocks?
What was that?
179 blocks.
Holy crap.
I mean, that's basically 2 blocks a game.
That's nuts.
And that's across all 4 years. So I assume now her senior year, she probably got way more blocks than she did early in her.
She got 61 blocks this year in 21 games, which is, I think,
roughly 3 blocks.
Roughly 3,
that's roughly 3 blocks a game.
And then how many rebounds? Total rebounds.
That'd be RB.
You look at the TOT.
Yeah. There's 3 columns for everything.
Yeah, sorry.
No worries. 704 total rebounds.
She averaged
64 offensive and 570 defensive.
She averaged 7.7 rebounds a game.
Across
But she
her
didn't
whole
foul enough. I'm just looking at the fouling stats. Not
Use
the
your
fouls.
fouls, Jalen.
Yeah, use them up.
Oh, it's too late now.
Yeah.
She fouled out in a game I went to.
Good.
Just one?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Anyway, Jalen Sackrider.
Sorry, I was just
very
watching her.
peaceful
She had
games. They're very peaceful
Very
games.
peaceful games.
I've been to a bunch of games this year and I haven't seen anyone get a technical foul yet.
What? Psh, lame.
Bunch of tree huggers. Then we have from Elma Wrestling, Rusty Johnson, who won the 157-pound weight class. And let me double check. I think it was second round pin.
Block. She just got a block. Sorry. She just swatted the other team's post player. Sorry.
Let's see. Rusty Johnson won the 157-pound Evergreen District Championship, and he won by a second round pin. So that was the Elma nominee. And then on the Monty side, we had Emma Peterson.
Is that the Emma Peterson that I know?
Yeah.
I didn't know she wrestled now, and apparently is really good.
She kicks butt. She's ranked when the state rankings have come out. I've seen her ranked anywhere between like 6 and 8 in the whole state.
Dang.
1A. She's really good. And so like when I got that nomination, I was like, oh, Emma Peterson. Can I give a nominate? Can we give Athlete of the Week to just someone I like?
Right.
Yeah. And then the other one, I threw this one in there because I'm just generally. I think that this player is just generally jaw dropping, but Tiander Olsen for Monty basketball in that Kalama game was 6 stats shy of a quadruple double.
Jeez.
With 25 points. And we've done a lot of Tiander Olsen talk, so we don't need to name her Spivey Athlete of the Week, but I wanted her to be on the list. So we've got these 4. Do you have a direction necessarily that you're leaning out of this group? I don't. I would like to make
have a direction.
A slight case
I'm directionless
for one of these athletes, and see if you find it compelling. So, while as much as I'm like, you know what? I've known Emma Peterson since she was knee-high to a grasshopper, and she is a great kid, and I love her, and she's great at wrestling. But
yeah,
Rusty Johnson, that was a nominee that came from a coach, and he won a district championship, and also Elma's wrestling team. And I guess this also could apply to Emma too, because Monty's girls wrestling team won their team title too. But Elma's boys wrestling team has been pretty dominant throughout the course of this year, and they're playing in the same league as Monty's boys wrestling team, which is also really good.
Yeah.
And they're still just seemingly winning everything.
Yeah.
So I love the idea of having an Elma wrestler as our Spivey Athlete of the Week, and because Rusty's name came directly from one of their coaches, I feel like coach nominations generally carry a lot of weight with me, especially when it's a sport that I don't really know a ton about.
Right.
Because when you have we have double-digit district champion wrestlers. I like to kind of lean on people who have a little more knowledge than I do.
Yes.
And that coming from him made me kind of lean a little bit towards Rusty Johnson, even though inside of me I'm like, oh, Emma's a great kid and she's a bulldog. Let's name her Athlete of the Week. But I like the idea of Rusty Johnson taking it.
I like that too. I know you're crazy busy and you do all the hard work, but I feel like a little maybe congratulations post to Jalen Sackrider as well. It's definitely warranted, finishing up her college career. Although is she doing track again this year, Andrew? Do you know? Because
I do not know, actually.
The last couple of years she was like, oh yeah, I can throw things real far. Let me do track.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she was doing throwing events. That's so funny.
I'm not sure what
I don't know. Like, I would have been like, oh man, Jalen would have been definitely Spivey Athlete of the Week if she fouled more.
Yeah, there we go.
But she didn't
100%.
use up her fouls, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
gotta be more aggressive.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Speaking of former Harbor athletes who are playing college ball, I saw Jessica Stanfield hit a home run for the University of Montana.
Nice.
The other day. So congratulations, Jessica.
Dude, remember when it was like every week she hit like 2 bombs?
Yeah.
You remember, like, it was like, yeah, Jessica Stanfield hit 2 more dingers.
It was a slow week if she hit 2 bombs. Yeah. Yes. She was amazing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm good with that. So, Rusty Johnson, you are Spivey. There it is. Spivey.
It's a lucky thing that word doesn't start with a W, or Daniel would not pronounce it correctly.
Spivey Athlete of the Week. Congratulations. Keep it going. Go get a state trophy. We are so excited for everything this Elma program's doing, and specifically you. This week, you are a Spivey Athlete of the Week. Thanks again to our sponsors, the Spivey Realty Group. Rusty Johnson, Athlete of the Week.
Daniel, William McGaffey wants to know if you're broadcasting the Monty Elma game on Wednesday.
It will be broadcasted. I think Ian
Broadcasting will happen.
I think it's Ian. Ian will probably do it. So, we have not had a baby yet, like Nick, but my wife is.
You sounded super Russian when you said that.
Baby,
No,
like
we
Nick.
have not
Daniel,
had baby.
We have
Nick
not had baby yet,
has had
like
a baby.
Nick. Nick has baby. We no have baby yet. But we have a bunch of appointments on Wednesday, so it'd be an extremely long day for us. So I think Ian is going to be able to do it. If not, then I'll hop in at the last second. But yes, that game will be broadcasted. And I've heard that our streaming's fixed. We've gone like 3 games in a row without having
crossed.
streaming, so
Why does
should be
that game will be broadcasted not sound right?
Wait,
It
The
will
game will be broadcast?
you could
Broadcasted? What's past tense of broadcast? Is it broadcast or broadcasted?
isn't it broadcasted?
I don't know. Just like I would think that, but then when you said it, it just didn't sound right.
Rob? I've been broadcasting for a long time. Is it not broadcasted?
I don't know. It's probably broadcasted. As Francis points out, everyone has more knowledge than Justin does.
According to Grok, the past tense of broadcast is broadcast. It's one of the verbs in English that remains the same in both present and past tense. However, broadcasted is also accepted as a past tense form.
Wait,
Okay,
so it
so
says
they're
that it's
both right.
accepted.
They're both right. Okay. So you were
Only one is right. The other one is accepted.
who said that?
Grok.
Who's
my buddy,
Grok?
My buddy Grok, the AI.
Andrew loves Grok. Grok named my child.
I thought you
No, I'm
said
just kidding.
I thought you said Gronk.
And you say, I love
Grok named Baby Klondike?
Maybe. Why did my dad just ask me I thought he was asking me like a scrimmage question, but it's just like a random information question. I almost read it out
What
loud.
is it?
And then
Share
I'm
it
like,
with everyone.
he said, "Where are you going next weekend?" I'm like, I don't want to tell everybody on the show where I'm going next weekend. Francis just said pleaded or plead. Or pled.
Pled.
I think it's pled. It's pleaded, which is very weird. He
Like-
pleaded guilty.
It's like when you put
At
pleats
least-
in your pants. Pleated?
No, is that a T? Or is it the same word?
Pleated? Pleated?
Pleaded.
It's a T, I think.
Pleaded.
Yeah.
Past tense, pleaded. Yes. Very weird. Very weird. Sorry. I knew that because working in the radio station,
Are you
we
gonna
talked
answer
a
your
lot
dad's
about.
question, or?
Oh, we're going to Coos Bay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Coos Bay.
Never been there.
Yeah, it's down in Oregon. It's some random coastal town.
I've heard of it.
We're gonna use it as like our launching off pad. We're gonna go stay a couple nights and then like maybe do some road tripping south more or north more. We don't know yet, but
Where's Northmore?
it's right. It's just west of Eastmore.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well,
It's Oregon. It's a weird place.
We're going to take another break in a minute, but I wanted to run through our defensive all-league teams.
Yeah, we did that, or you did that.
Well, we did it. We did it. Everyone, it was a combined effort.
Yeah. Sure.
For the uninitiated, we started this a few years ago, and
Get initiated already.
the first year that we
Initiate
did
yourself.
it was an idea that I had like as the regular basketball season was ending.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, Daniel, do you think we could do an all defensive team and get the coaches that we know to participate in it in the boys league? And between the two of us, we communicated with the coaches we knew, and we just got our local coaches to vote with us and named a boys 1A Evergreen defensive all-league team. And the idea is that, not everybody who's on the court gets a chance to score a bunch of points and grab a bunch of rebounds, but there's a bunch of guys who put in a lot of effort, so we wanted to be able to recognize players who don't always get the recognition. We did it the first year. We threw it together. It was really fun. So the last year, we decided to go into it with the idea of expanding to the girls' side, to do boys and girls, and invite all the league's coaches to vote with us.
Even not the local ones.
Yes.
Which, that was a big step for us.
It was.
We generally don't like people from Rochester or Tenino.
And we
just kidding.
I don't have a problem with Rochester. You seem to have issues with Rochester.
Do I?
Yeah.
Rochester?
It's based, yes. You call it Rochester. And aside from that, one scoreboard operator that we met when we were there doing a football game, I don't have problems with basically anybody from Rochester.
That's a good point.
But we decided to invite last year, and it was Eatonville last year.
Yeah.
But we invited all the coaches from the league. We got a really high percentage of participation, even a couple of out-of-town coaches to join us in voting. This year, then we also had Forrest Worgum vote with us because he's the other media. He's a photographer. He's the other media member I know who knows basketball and sees all these teams. And then this year Rochester comes into the league. Eatonville goes out of the league.
Yep.
So now Rochester and Tenino are...
Which good riddance, Eatonville. That's another one you don't really have a problem with, but
Not
for some reason I really do.
Well, it's because of something that happened in junior high.
Yeah, that's a good point. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I have
generally
deep-seated
cool
issues.
With Eatonville. Yeah,
Apparently I have a problem with letting go of things.
Weird.
Daniel Gross hopped in the thing and said, "Baby, niet." Sorry.
So we expanded it this year even a little bit more. We got of the 10 coaches, boys and girls side, 9 of them voted. And I want to say who the one was that didn't vote. But that was I was so excited that we got so much participation from the coaches. You and I and Forrest all still voted. And then we expanded to the Chronicle, because the Chronicle covers Tenino and Rochester in their coverage area. We invited Dylan Wilhelm, the sports editor from the Chronicle, to help us out because I think it balances us out a little bit. He covers those Tenino Rochester teams, and it helped us to get a little bit more of a balanced
instead of us just
outcome.
voting for a bunch of Monty Hoquiam and Elma people. That didn't
Slippery
happen.
phone.
Don't worry about it.
So anyway, I think this has been a fun project, and it's probably my favorite thing that we do.
Yeah.
It's so much work. And it gets really confusing and difficult at times.
Next year, I'm saying this now, so hold me to it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't hold me to it, then I won't.
Okay.
Next year, give me a list of half the coaches.
Okay.
And I'll message them.
Okay.
And I'll be their point of contact, so you don't have to do all of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Because you were like, hey, I talked to all these people. And I was like, oh, I twiddled my thumbs.
Well, I've had it crossed my mind that I might not be able to do this every year. But I will say for sure that I probably, at the very least, it wouldn't be as cool without Forrest.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So I'm going to free plug. This is not a paid advertisement. Go check out Forrest Worgum Photography on Facebook and Instagram and his website.
I almost said, but maybe Forrest should advertise with us. And then I was like, wait a second. He gives us so much stuff that is worth way more than if he was to, we were supposed to charge him for something.
He also votes with us. And I'm throughout the whole basketball season, I'm texting with him about hey, who are these players that you think we're going to be voting for? We communicate about this stuff.
Yeah.
But in addition to him providing most of the photos, he also connected us with the photographers to give us photos for the ones that he didn't have.
Yes.
So he connected us with a Rochester photographer for the couple of Rochester kids that made the teams, and Elma girls. Mike Roberts has a daughter on the Elma girls team. He's taken really great photos. So for the Elma girls team, we have his photos as well. But all that was coordinated by Forrest. So he was so incredibly helpful
Yes.
in the process of making this cool. And yeah, we can release just a list of names and that would be fine too, but I wanted to make it look cool and fun.
It is.
And something that the kids would enjoy.
Dude.
And based on the amount of players who were named to these teams who shared it and liked it and stuff, I think the kids like it.
Yeah. Channy B, thank you for hopping in the comments, by the way. I just say that because it's the first time I think I've noticed you commenting, but she says Forrest goes above and beyond, and that is so true.
That is true.
So huge kudos and thank you to Forrest. And you know what? It's because you've put in the work and Forrest helps us out to make it cool. This is better than All League. I'm just going to say it.
It's better than regular All League.
It's just better than the regular All League one right there. Francis then says, your ability to help Justin with SADTs baby number 4 isn't dominating your schedule, Daniel. There's just so much there.
Daniel's busy reading things.
I don't know
It's
what that
Francis.
means.
Let's just ignore it.
All right, sounds good.
I'm
and
happy
then
to
Forrest
ignore
says it's more just me texting Justin. Basketball is my favorite sport.
Yeah.
Well,
Mine too.
yeah. Hey.
Yeah, this is probably at least part of the reason why Forrest and I get along so well.
Right. Okay, so do we want to... Oh, there's a filthy dog. Just, oh my gosh, she
Mavis.
is so dirty.
Mavis, you need a bath, baby.
How did she pull that off in like 20 minutes?
I think she's going back outside. No?
Nope.
He's going to towel her off. Let's do play-by-play of this.
So right now, Mavis tries to escape, and she is pulled back in, reeled in. Now he's going with the right front paw, left front paw, toweled off.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off for
He's
her.
going with both the rear ones, the rear grip.
Interesting. He lifted up the rear end of the dog off the ground to be able to clean the dog's back legs instead of just lifting the legs up. I think that was a very wise strategy from a seasoned veteran dog cleaner.
Mavis looked like she had a lot of fight in her at the beginning of this, but then just now seems a little bit resigned to just taking the cleaning. Oh, now she's off and she's on top of me. Oh, no, Mavis.
Let's talk about who the actual players who were selected to our teams are.
Let's start with the girls.
Okay.
League MVP, defensive MVP. If you don't know who this is, you're an ostrich and your head's in the dirt.
Yeah.
It's Tiander Olsen.
Yep.
Was she unanimous?
Near unanimous. There were two in the voting process. There were two landslides.
Okay.
One was Tiander Olsen as defensive league MVP, and the other was Caden Grubb as king of the boards.
King of the boards
on the boys' side.
Yes. So Tiander Olsen, congratulations! You are a defensive league MVP. What can we say about this girl besides she does everything? 90
steals, 67 deflections, and 131 rebounds.
Yeah.
So she's a point guard.
Yep.
In case anyone doesn't know. Third on her team in rebounds because there are two awesome rebounders in Ava Schrader and Jilly Dalen ahead of her.
Yeah.
But 131 rebounds. And we consider rebounding to be part of defense.
Yes.
But Tiander with 90 steals.
Which I never did before we started doing this project.
Yeah.
But it totally makes sense.
It actually was Jeff Nemi that really made me and it wasn't anything he said in particular, but it was just the communications with Jeff about these teams in the very early stages that was like, you know what? I love the fact that he included rebounds in that.
Yeah.
Because that's how you end a good defensive possession is by getting the rebound.
Right.
So Tiander Olsen, not only a great defender who gets a ton of steals and deflections and is super disruptive, but she also, she does the dirty work. She goes in and gets the rebounds with other great rebounders on her team as well.
Then Queen of the Boards, Aaliyah Kennedy.
Yeah.
A freshman. Look out.
Yes. And this is Aaliyah Kennedy coming into the league as a freshman in a league where Jilly Dalen exists.
Yes.
Jilly's awesome.
Yeah.
And would have been queen of the boards if not for Aaliyah.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Jilly narrowly missed being her own team's leading rebounder because Ava Schrader had a little bit more rebounds than she did.
Ava with a monster rebounding year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but Aaliyah an average of better than 10 rebounds per game during the season, and also better than 3 steals per game during the season. As a freshman, she's going to be phenomenal down the stretch.
Then we go to the first team, and this is, let's see, we got Sadie's DuPont, Jilly Dalen, Ava Schrader, Olivia Moore, and Lexi LeBounty.
So Sadie's DuPont from Rochester is a senior, and she was the lone warrior player who made either second or first team.
That sounds like a movie title.
The Lone Warrior.
Lone Warrior.
She had a few. They had a few honorable mentions, but yeah, Sadie's really coaches drove this one.
Yep, for sure.
Recognized her as a incredibly good defender. Jilly and Ava, like, those girls are grabbing a ton of rebounds. They also, as a team, they get a ton of steals. I think there was in our local sports roundup, Ava had 7 steals in that Kalama game, I believe. And Jilly is always up there too.
Yeah, Jilly's always grabbing a ton of steals.
From Hoquiam, Lexi LeBounty Jr.?
Yes, she's a junior.
So
we thought she might have graduated last year. That's how long she's been playing varsity. And then we were like, oh, wait, no, she's actually only a junior.
So we get another year of Lexi LeBounty. And I think when I watched Hoquiam play Monty, and they were really struggling to stop Tiandra Olsen, and she scored like 33 points on them.
Yeah.
Lexi was the one defender who kind of slowed her down.
Yeah.
Great discipline, really good athlete. And then for Elma, we had Olivia Moore, which also I think Olivia's a junior or a sophomore.
I think she's a junior.
Yeah. So Olivia also, a good player. I feel like a pretty long and athletic wing. Really versatile, and can really get her hands on the ball.
She's a junior.
Yeah, can really get her hands on the ball and disrupt a lot of stuff. So that is congratulations to our first team from Monty, Jilly Dalen, and Ava Schrader. From Hoquiam, Lexi LeBounty. From Elma, Olivia Moore. And from Rochester, Sadie's DuPont.
And just as a reminder, because Facebook just posts pictures. We posted the pictures in a certain order. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean that that's how they saw them, because one person saw the first team boys all league and was like, voters got this wrong. How's Caden Grubb not there? And we're like, calm down, guy.
Yeah. Also, I realized, I think that the stuff didn't stay in the pictures didn't stay in the same order that I intended them to.
Oh, gotcha.
So even within those posts, like the first and second team, it doesn't, like, voting and voting actually especially for the second team was super close. Rochester had a girl, Lizzie Hoover, who was literally 1 point away from being part of the second team. It was incredibly close. So
second team, we got Bria Say from Tenino, Sydney Gordon from Hoquiam, Kiki Bull from Elma, Caitlin Broadhead from Hoquiam, and Holly Thorin from Tenino. Quick comment on the last conversation. Forrest said Lexi's awesome.
Yeah.
So a little shout out for
Agreed.
Lexi from Forrest there.
So we have the 2 Tenino players, Bria Sai or however you say it, and Holly Thorin. From Elma, we had Kiki Bull, and I think that from what I've seen, this picture that we have on her graphic is like a great representation of what Kiki Bull is as a defender.
Yes.
It's her just like blocking the crap out of someone's shot so badly that she has her full palm on the ball. Also, when I was going through Mike's pictures, there was like 3 of Kiki having blocks like this. Yeah. Just great quickness, great hands, great disruptive ability. And then, Sydney Gordon, Caitlin Broadhead, 2 really different players from each other. Caitlin Broadhead, excellent perimeter defender for Hoquiam, and Sydney Gordon, really strong inside. I would think rebounds go into this quite a bit, but just a really strong presence inside the paint for Hoquiam.
Yeah. It's been such a fun year to watch some of these Hoquiam kids like grow into this role in their team. Moving on to the honorable mentions for Montesano, Josie Forster, Hazel Jones, Jordan Wade, Reagan Winthrop, and McKenna Blankus. All definitely absolutely deserving of the honorable mention there.
All of those players were either 1 or 2 points away from making second team also.
Yeah.
So, and Monty was clearly the best defensive team
Yep.
in the league.
Yep.
They had a ton of players who got mentioned.
Hoquiam, Nadine Stewart, Renasia Burtonshaw were the honorable mentions there. Both of those excellent players, excellent defenders. Having just watched Hoquiam, Nadine's someone who does the little things on defense and rebounding as well. Elma had Amaya Lewis and Nancy Guzman. Tenino had Bryn Williams, Kyla Watson, Georgia Gore, and Kylie Gagne. Gagne, interesting.
That's Austin's little sister.
Yeah. Rochester, I'll be nice. Rochester, Lizzie Hoover, Lena Demers, Josie Nygaard, and then, this is my favorite, Sarah Howry. Now, to get an honorable mention, it means that you received a vote, right?
Yes.
This is my favorite. So Sarah Howry graduated last year.
So somebody was so traumatized by Sarah Howry
by her defense
that they voted for her a year later, which is pretty cool. But also,
That's awesome.
Sarah is a volunteer coach on the team, so she's been on the bench.
She's still impacting them.
She's there. And so when Rochester's coach messaged us and said, "Hey, Sarah actually graduated last year," I was like, "Well, she got a vote, so we'll just say it's a carryover from last year.
Yes.
They weren't in our league last year, so she didn't have a chance to be voted on.
Yeah.
So we're gonna count her as an official member of this."
And she got a kick out of that too. The
Yeah.
coach did. So I thought that was pretty fun. Moving on to the boys' side, this was a tight battle, I feel like,
The
for
MVP
the
one
MVP.
was, yes.
Yeah, very tight battle.
3 different players received votes, and it was a 1-vote difference between the top 2.
So the defensive league MVP, Elma's Isaac McGaffey. And when I think of what you do to deserve this, I think of shutting down the other team's top scorers to make them virtually not a part of the scoring column. And when you hold Lincoln Nemi to 3 points, and then I find out that those 3 points were when McGaffey wasn't even covering you, I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely warranted. And then another excellent game, he followed that up by covering Mason Fry. I mean, this kid really, I feel like, dedicated himself to the defensive side of the ball this year, and I think it made a big impact for this Elma team.
Agreed. And then on the rebounding side of that, this was the one I mentioned, was pretty much the other landslide, Caden Grubb as king of the boards. And I just go back to like because Caden's a sophomore.
Yeah.
Didn't play varsity last year because Monty had like 10 seniors.
Yes.
And I remember talking to my son about the basketball team and what it was going to look like. And I remember him telling me, "Dad, Caden's going to be so much better than you think he's going to be because I can't rebound against him." And Peyton's really strong. He was like, Caden's like 6'2", 6'3". He jumps out of the gym and he just understands body positioning better than most people do. And he came in and just dominated the glass for Monty this year. So huge shout out. We're violating temporarily our no grubs rule to name Caden Grubb the king of the boards for our league.
Really quick before we move on, because I want to hear more about like who those others receiving votes in the MVP were.
Yeah.
Francis says that apparently the Gagne that we mentioned is an honorable mention in the girls. She's an 8th grader.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we'll be seeing her for
Good
a long time. Which I didn't know 1A did that.
It depends. There's rules about it. Like you can only have a certain amount of players, and you can't have a C squad or like it has to be. It has to be that you need that 8th grader.
Okay.
Not like that 8th grader's really good, so I'm going to move him up. But I need that 8th grader to have numbers.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about that MVP race.
Yeah.
For the boys league MVP.
Well, and I think that the boys league defensively in general turned out to be. I went back and did the math on who allowed the least points. Mm-hmm. Monty technically had the best defense by points allowed in league play. But between...
Apparently accidentally called Forrest Francis.
Whoops.
I feel terrible.
Yeah, because we usually insult Francis. We don't insult Forrest.
Sorry.
We do not insult Forrest Morgan on this program. The best defensive team, technically by the numbers, was Monty.
Right.
And they have a really good defense and several really good defensive players, but I don't know if there was one like standout that's your defensive MVP.
Right.
Second was Tenino.
Mm-hmm.
And then Elmo was like right there. So those three teams, even though, it went Monty, Tenino, Elmo, they were all within like 3 points per game average allowed. The other two players receiving votes for defensive MVP were both Tenino Beavers. Austin Gagne received the second most votes, and Jack Burkhart was in the mix as well.
Right.
So there was actually a point when not all the votes were in that I really thought that Gagne was going to be the defensive league MVP.
Yeah.
And then when the last few ballots came in, it tipped the scales a little bit towards McGaffey. The ballots are all private, so like we're not going to reveal who voted for anyone, but I will say that I voted for McGaffey.
Yeah, I did too.
Mostly because Austin is great. Like, he's a really good basketball player all around. He's an excellent defender. He's strong. He can play on the perimeter. McGaffey was the lockdown guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, if I look at these guys really similarly, what McGaffey did against Lincoln Nemi in the Hoquiam game, because Lincoln is such an explosive scorer and such a skilled player.
Mm-hmm.
So to hold him to 3 points, was it?
Yeah.
In that game?
3 points, and I'd heard that Isaac wasn't covering him when those 3 points were scored.
So to me, that was what tipped the scales in my vote. So went with McGaffey on that one. But if Austin had won or Jack Burkhart had won, totally deserving.
Yep, absolutely.
Those kids are excellent basketball players, and they focus on doing things the right way.
Yep.
Not just scoring points, but also playing the game the right way on both ends of the floor.
Yeah. And that is why, shocker, the first team has 3 Tenino Beavers on it. Yeah, Jack Burkhart, Austin Gagne, as you mentioned, Will Feltus, I think definitely deserving.
Super quick little guard, really, really disruptive in passing lanes too.
And then the 2 local guys on the first team, Tarek Gunter and Traden Carter, who I think 2 different styles of defenders, and I think Traden was asked to do some things a little bit differently this year and stepped up into a different role because he was the guy who could do it, and I think he did a great heavy lift for his team.
Yeah, and Tarek often was the guy who took on whatever the toughest assignment was for guards for Monty, and did a generally really good job. Traden is built a little differently than most guards.
Yeah.
He's a real strong, beefy dude.
Yep.
Like super athletic, but also just incredibly strong.
Yep.
Probably the only guard I can think of in recent years in our league that would match up with what my son Peyton did.
Yes.
And especially in his senior year, just strength-wise. Being able to bully people, Traden super strong as a guard. So, yeah, they're different players, but they're able to take on different kinds of challenges. Traden also grabs a lot of rebounds, too.
Exactly, yeah. Looking at the second team, Joey Bozich from Hoquiam, Rochester's Braden O'Connor, Montesano's Mason Fry, Elma's Theo Flores, and Hoquiam's Riker Maxfield rounding out the second team.
Yeah, and I think Riker, that was a late emergence, I'd say.
Yeah.
I don't know that through the first handful of games in the season he would have been on this list, but he finished really strong. We talked about his very unique double-double with 10 steals in the district pigtail game.
Yeah, someone who we'll be looking for on the first team next year, probably.
Probably. I mean, Riker is small, but he's really quick, super athletic. Joey Bozich, kind of, he's a guard / wing, but he occupies a different type of defender. Riker is like the quick, I'm going to steal the ball from you defender, and Joey is more solid and fundamental and making sure that he does things the right way to stop guys.
Yeah, and Theo Flores is the more guard pest.
Yeah, he's a mosquito.
Guy. He is everywhere, and he will frustrate you and poke the ball away and make it annoying to bring the ball up. And if you're trying to hang out around the top of the key, he'll just be pestering you constantly. Yeah. And then Mason Fry is the other local one there. And length.
He's a disruptor.
Yeah.
And like probably not quite the him and Tarek will complement each other well, because Tarek's the guy you're going to go put him on somebody and trust him to be disciplined, and Mason's a guy who's going to go out and get some steals. But yeah, long, athletic, and rangy.
Before we get to the honorable mentions, my dad texted in and says Peyton was so strong because he gave him the weight set.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
He's taking credit, much like you take credit for anybody you coached in Little League.
I support that.
Yeah. Honorable mentions for the boys: Montesano's Colton Grubb, also violating our no grubs policy.
Yeah.
Nathan Dowler, Brody Williamson.
Sorry, Brody, I spelled your name wrong. It's Williamson with an E-N.
Oh, Williamson.
I mean, to be honest, of all the kids to spell the name wrong, that's a bad one for me. I've known Brody for a really long time.
Tenino's Jackson Gore. Hoquiam had Lincoln Nemi, Tage Dayton, and Ethan Byron. And Rochester had LaShawn Hines and Colton Weiss. And I just want to touch on one of these because I think a lot of people might go, Lincoln Nemi, defense. This year, he changed a lot of what he did from his first year and put a lot more effort into defense. But I think mainly where that showed up was rebounding. Yeah. He led their team in rebounding, and I think that's where that showed up the most.
The other thing that I want to make sure, we've talked about this a lot. Lincoln is watched and covered differently than everyone else.
What?
And yes, Lincoln.
And we've seen this happen before.
This is the first time that I'm going to say this publicly, but I think because of the improvement, I can say it out loud. Last season, sometimes your defensive effort made me want to vomit. But this year, when I watched Monty and Hoquiam play against each other, Lincoln has great hands and a great knack for the ball. So he's finding himself in the place where loose balls end up, and he grabs it. And also, he's able to anticipate mistakes that other people are making in a way that it's just a feel for the game that he has.
Yeah.
And so, if I'm gonna go straight up lockdown defender, I'm not going to pick the guy to be a straight up lockdown defender who is in charge of having the ball 80% of the time when you're on offense. He needs to have his energy for that. But the way that he rebounded and his defensive effort and his defensive ability from last year to this year is such a huge difference that I know, he doesn't end up on one of the first two teams, but I'm really glad that he got the recognition because he does deserve it. He deserves to be recognized for the improvement.
Absolutely.
And not making me vomit.
And for rebounding. With this, I will say that there's a lot of Aberdeen kids who we would love to highlight.
Oh, Isaac Garcia.
Zanto Rea. How did you say Isaac Garcia before Zanto Rea? My guy. I'm just kidding. They're both awesome. But Zanto Rea. But also
you love Zanto Rea.
I just love
your favorite player.
He's so good at defense. He's so good.
Kennedy Kalodzi.
Olivia Lamont.
Yeah.
Both of the Shoemakers on the girls squad. I would throw almost pretty much every guard from the Aberdeen boys team. So Zanto Rea, Isaac Garcia.
Quezada gets a lot of steals too.
Quezada plays a different type of defense. It's an opportunistic steals wing, taking passes away defense. Buzz is going to be very upset with Riker. I couldn't remember Riker's first name. Yeah. Riker Scott plays excellent defense as well.
Same as Maxfield.
That is weird, by the way. When I was covering the Aberdeen Hoquiam game, and I was like, if you would have told me I would have two Rikers in one game, would not have thought that. But yeah, I mean, that whole Aberdeen team really puts in a ton of effort on defense. I think on both the boys and girls, now I think about it, because you got Knutson as well on the girls' side. Yep. I mean, man, so many good defenders, but you're the one local team in your league, and it just makes it a lot more difficult for us to try and then extend into Thurston County and try and figure out how to do a 2A.
I would really like
different animal
is have an all area team.
Yeah,
but then I don't want to exclude the 2B and the 1B teams that we cover, and it just turns into so much of a bigger thing.
Yeah, exactly.
If we could do it where we just do Monty, Elma, Aberdeen, Hoquiam, that'd be super easy.
Yes. True.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to give a shout out to those players as well, because Aberdeen's got some good defense over the last few years. Whew. I think it's time we take another break.
Yeah, and then we're going to do a super short third period of our show.
The third period of our hockey show?
Yeah, because it's been a long show.
Oh, shit. We need to go.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, shout.
Oh, shop.
Oh, shout. Commercial break.
Spivey Realty Group's goal is to make buying, selling, investing, and renting real estate in Grace Harbor simple. They believe in 100% transparency and unparalleled communication with local expertise, tech-enhanced, and top-notch service for their friends, neighbors, and community. Their goal is simple: get a group of strong-willed, hard-working people together who want to make a difference in Grace Harbor and to use real estate as the means of achieving that. Voted Grace Harbor's best real estate company. Find them on Facebook or visit graceharborrealestate.com. Spivey Realty Group, elevating small town real estate.
Thank you again to our sponsors, the Spivey Realty Group and the Law Office of Jeffrey A. Damashevitz. Seriously, so grateful for you guys. It's our hockey show time.
Yeah.
Meaning it's the third period.
Yeah.
And we start that off with a hockey thing.
Mr. Unlimited.
A 2-minute penalty box? No.
A 2-minute minor?
Is that a thing?
I don't know, but when the USA played Canada recently, in Canada, and the Canadians booed when the national anthem was played, because they usually do both, and then the U.S. hockey team started 3 fights in the first 9 seconds.
Let's go.
And then beat Canada 3-1.
Oh, we beat Canada at their own sport?
Yeah.
Suck it,
Canada sucks.
Let's get it going with the 2-minute drill.
Let's go, huddle up. Gotta hurry. Hey, 2-minute situation, 44 seconds, hand the ball around. Gonna do it right. 3 jet Buckeye, don't worry.
The 2-minute drill starts now.
The SEC currently contains 9 teams ranked in the men's college basketball AP poll, including the top 3, 4 of the top 5, and 5 of the top 10. But it has recently been reported that, in conference play, the SEC just has a 500... Intra-conference play. Is that what it is?
In conference play.
In conference play, the SEC has just a 500 record.
Yeah.
Justin, is this conference overrated?
I mean, yeah, when they play outside their conference, they generally win. But when they play against each other, they're only winning at a 50% clip. So overrated. Like, how could they not be overrated? They only win half of their conference games. Every conference game, there's only one winner and one loser. The SEC is just, it's going to, in the end, it's not going to be an SEC team on top. Last week, the Dallas Mavericks traded 25-year-old superstar Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a first-round pick. Daniel, what were the Mavs thinking?
Nobody knows. Literally nobody can figure this one out. I hear theories and they're always like, yeah, but that's dumb. Like, what is this? If you're a conspiracy theorist, this one doesn't even have to be a conspiracy. I'm pretty sure it's just the league being like, oh, we want the Lakers to be good and not even LeBron can do it right now, so let's have Luka go there.
I think it's actually about gambling.
Really? Mm-hmm. I want your thoughts next. I have to read another thing. Justin, the NBA All-Star Game is happening today. Do you care?
Not really. The thing I cared about the most was to see if Damian Lillard would defend his crown in the three-point shooting contest, which he did not, by the way.
No.
He got eliminated in the first round.
No.
So, no, don't care about the NBA All-Star Game pretty much at all.
Mac McClung?
Daniel, have the Mariners done anything else this offseason, like, at all?
Correct. Mac McClung, the greatest nobody ever. He just comes and wins dunk contests and then goes back to the G League.
I saw an Instagram reel of Mac McClung walking through, like, it was like an amusement park or something.
Yeah.
And he saw a kid with his jersey on.
Oh, no.
And so he went up to say hi to him and say, hey, nice jersey. And the kid was like, oh, thanks, bro. Did not recognize him.
Oh, no. Poor Mac McClung.
Yeah, you could
but he
tell
wins
too,
dunk contest, though.
He kind of didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But the people who were with him and recording him convinced him, no, you should just go say, hey, buddy, nice jersey.
Yeah. And he's like, he knew what was going to happen. He saw it coming.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So the reason it's about gambling.
Gambling, you say.
You remember when Mark Cuban sold the governing share of the Dallas Mavericks?
Right.
So he's still a part owner. He's a minority owner, but he's no longer the governor.
I thought you were going to say he's still an idiot. No, okay. What?
That too.
Okay.
But the woman who bought the majority share of the Dallas Mavericks made her money in casinos.
Whoa.
And has been hugely advocating for...
Does that mean that she won a lot of money at a casino?
She owns casinos. She owns...
She's just a really good gambler.
She owns some of the largest casinos.
You're right. I assumed that's what you meant, but then I was like, wait a minute. What if this is a way more interesting story?
No, she owns some of the largest casinos in Vegas.
Okay.
So, and she's been advocating for laws to be changed for casinos to be legal in Texas.
Okay.
She wants gambling to be legal in Texas.
Okay.
Or she wants to move the team to Vegas. This is a thing that's pretty widely. It's an undercurrent. It's not like public knowledge,
right? But
people
everybody knows it.
She wants to move the Dallas Mavericks to Vegas.
Gotcha.
But the Mavs have been pretty good. They made it to the finals last year. They have
gonna
a great
make
young
them...
superstar. There's a chance that she's trying to tank the team so that the population of Dallas, the fans of Dallas, will not like them anymore. And that she'll be able to move them to Vegas where she can have gambling money involved in it.
Couldn't she have traded him to anybody else but L.A.?
Yeah.
Because I kind of liked Luka.
Yeah.
And now he plays on the Devils team.
He plays for the Celtics?
Wait, isn't there literally a team with the Devil as or maybe I'm
not. There's hockey.
College there is.
And college and hockey.
I don't know.
I'm trying
NBA
to think of the NBA.
Well. I don't think there's any Devils.
I mean, there's Magic, which demons are implied
That's
there.
True, yeah. I bet there's demons in a lot of mascots. If we really go down, if we just decided to go.
Want to go down that rabbit hole?
Sorry.
Yeah.
My daughter made the mistake of saying magic isn't real the other day, and I was like, "Let me tell you some stuff.
Let me drop some knowledge on you." So about the hockey, the Four Nations, the hockey thing.
Yeah.
I didn't come up with this idea. I saw this on Twitter/X. But how incredible would the All-Star game be if instead of an All-Star game, they had a tournament with like Japanese, Dominican, U.S. and I don't know what, like Mexican? Would it be a Mexican?
Are you talking about
players,
baseball?
or, yeah.
I think
Venezuela?
Maybe South.
What you're describing sounds like the World Baseball Classic.
Except that you do it every year.
Ooh.
And it would be over Wild Card weekend. Not Wild Card. I'm sorry, All-Star weekend.
Over All-Star weekend.
The NBA kind of is doing this. They have like
the NBA's doing this.
That's what the NHL is doing right now.
Their
Four Nations tournament is basically.
It's instead of the All-Stars?
I don't know if it's instead of an All-Stars, but it is it's a tournament that's all the stars, but they're divided by country.
Yeah, and it's mid-season.
And it's been
interesting to think about. It's mid-season.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It might be in. I don't follow the sport well enough to say if it is in place of
the All-Stars.
So
I've heard that they're taking it seriously though, which is
none of us follow the NBA closely enough to really know the All-Star format. But I did see something like, I think there's 3 NBA All-Star teams. One of them is called the OGs. And one of them's like
I'm already out.
The young talent, and then the other one is like international stars. So like one of the teams is like everybody that's not from the US.
Okay.
And then another team is the other 2 teams are separated out between like
people whose names you know and people whose names you don't know.
No. From the U.S. players, one of them is the older guys and one of them is the younger
guys who you know their name of.
Gotcha.
The younger players, there's a lot of really recognizable names in the younger
to someone who pays a ton of attention to college basketball.
No, pro basketball. But yeah, that's actually
because
I'm saying you recognize the names.
Do you know
of young players.
who Anthony Edwards is?
No idea.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Do you know who Steph Curry is?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No, actually, I know the name. I don't know who it is.
Well, you know the name, so
Yeah.
because you know why you know the name because he played with your favorite player.
Oh, he played with Klay Thompson.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, I don't like it though sometimes when you say things because then it makes me go outside of my bubble. And my bubble was someone who casually follows the NBA. And your bubble is someone who likes sports but doesn't care about the NBA. So you are more in tune with like the general population.
But
so you're more in tune with the general population, and I'm more in tune with someone who kind of follows basketball.
My point is just that you do follow college basketball, and so
and I follow
the names of guys before they play.
Yeah,
in the NBA.
You made a lot of good points, and I asked you to stop.
Francis says, first, Forrest says, I thought about this today, but I can't see how we could exclude the 2B, 1B schools.
Yeah.
Then Francis says, NBA talk, snooze fest.
Seriously, Francis.
Then Francis says,
I agree. It's the
yes,
first time.
it's instead of the All-Star game. So I think he's talking about the Four Nations there, Andrew. Then Chase says NBA All-Star Game is a joke.
Agreed.
Which absolutely, and I think that's where they're trying to figure something out with that.
Hey, we're late enough that Chase was able to jump in.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then Francis says Chase preach 100.
I like Chase, even though he's an Elma guy.
It's very big of you.
Yes.
I have a few friends from Elma.
Do we have anybody else's favorite part of the show?
Yeah.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Serving questions up on a silver platter where the points are made up and the rules don't matter. Time for Stump Daniel.
I kind of made like a Marge Simpson voice there.
You did.
Oh, homie.
Stump Daniel is brought to you by the law office of Jeffrey A. Domashevitz.
I didn't know I was so good at that.
Really? I feel like you practiced it in the mirror. Actually, Daniel, I feel like you practice a lot of things in the mirror. I feel like you spend a lot of time looking in the mirror and practicing things.
No comment.
Does it count as a mirror if it's his phone on selfie mode?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, yes, I think it does. Yeah. Oh, Francis says guys at work are lying to me. I have no friends in Elma. What did Chase say? Can someone read that? My eyes can't quite get it.
Chase said, also unrelated, but should schools be allowed to play down 2 classifications because they struggle like Fort Vancouver does? I love the WIAA. See, this is what I was talking about. People are like, oh, yeah, they're 1A now. Yeah, why are they 1A, though?
I actually don't know the answer.
They're a big school. I agree, Chase.
You could maybe...
Especially since Aberdeen's still chilling in 2A.
You know what? I called him a friend. You're agreeing with him. Can we say something negative about Chase? He's a Duke fan. Like,
gross.
Wow,
and a
Justin's
Celtics fan.
friends with a Duke fan.
I don't know. Are Chase and I friends? Like, we text each other sometimes, but also, like, we don't like any of the same stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. He seems like a good guy. I'm having an internal conflict.
Gotcha.
Daniel, solve this. Are Chase and I friends?
Acquaintances.
Okay.
You're not quite frenemies. You're like a lesser version of whatever you and Francis are.
Oh man, that actually hurt a little bit. I wasn't ready for that. Let's move on to something that'll hurt you.
Aww.
So, Stump Daniel is brought to you by the law office of Jeffrey A. Domashevitz. Daniel, in honor of Mac McClung becoming the first ever NBA dunk contest three-peat.
Wild.
Daniel,
that's wild.
Who are the 4 players who won this competition twice in a row?
Chase says, I thought we were friends.
I thought so too.
With a frowny face and then a laughy face.
Daniel said we're not. So
Francis says he's half friends with Chase, so that's about like you, Justin.
Okay, well.
All right, Justin, sorry, what was the question?
I feel like hurt inside for some reason. What is this? Feelings? I don't usually have those.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
It's a weird day.
I mean, I know what you're talking. I know what feelings are.
Okay.
I feel like combined we have the right amount of feelings, but you don't have any.
No,
And I've got like twice as
Having
many.
a physical response to it.
You getting a rash? Do you need a special cream?
On my side. It
Hives?
It might be shingles.
Is it shingle hives? You getting shives right now?
Daniel! Who are the 4 players who won the dunk competition twice in a row? 4 guesses.
Mikhail Jordan.
That is correct.
Nailed it.
In 87 and 88, Michael Jordan. Were you born in 87? No. 89?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before you were born.
Yes.
Mike, I was born in 85. I'm old as crap.
Yep. Crap's pretty old.
Yep. Michael Jordan won it twice in a row. Daniel, who are the other 3? I think you're going to miss all of them.
I'm going to miss all of them?
I think so.
All of them?
Yeah.
Nate Robinson.
Oh, you got another one in 09 and 2010. Nate the 8 Robinson. I made that up.
Nate the 5'8" Robinson. Hashtag
Former
real 5'6".
Washington Husky
Yeah.
great and from Rainier Beach High School. Nate Robinson once watched a video of him jumping over someone to dunk in high school from the free throw line.
My first memory of Nate Robinson was my brother and I were in a hotel room for some reason, and my brother was like, "Dude, this dude dunks," and I was like, "Nuh-uh," and then he tip dunked a rebound.
Yeah, fun fact about Nate Robinson, all of us are taller than him. Daniel, who are your other 2 guesses?
Just gonna make some dentist appointment sounds here for a second.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Also, something I don't practice in the mirror. Dominic Williams. Wait, Dominic. Sorry, shut up.
Try again on the first name and the last name.
Yeah, shut up. Wilkins. Dominique
Wilkins. No, I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
He
He did win, I think, twice, but not in consecutive seasons. And
Gotcha.
definitely won at least once.
Okay.
That was a good guess, though, if you had said the name right. You know what you need to do? Practice it in the mirror.
That usually helps. I know this guy won it once. I'd be shocked if he won it twice in a row. Brent Barry.
That is incorrect. I'm sorry. The correct answers outside of Mikhail Jordan and Nate Robinson were Jason Richardson in 0203.
I should have known that one.
Yeah.
That's back when I was paying attention.
You should have. That was in 0203.
Yeah.
And then also Zach Levine in 15 and 16.
With the cupcake.
Yes.
The cupcake dunk.
Daniel,
Yum. Cupcakes.
you did 50-50 on that one, so congratulations. You did better than I thought.
I'm not in the...
You're not in the duck zone.
There we go.
Yet. Who is the only Sonics player to
there's
win the
more.
dunk contest?
Oh, crap.
Who is the only Sonics player to win the dunk contest? Did I look devious while I was doing
Yes,
that?
you looked like very much Dr. Evil. All you needed was the pinky. There you go.
I don't think Dr. Evil has a
1 million points if you get this right.
Desmond Howard? Mason. No, Desmond.
One of those is right.
Desmond Mason?
Desmond Mason is correct! In 2001, when Daniel was at the wee age of 12 years old,
12!
Desmond Mason won the...
Is that peak NBA fanhood for Daniel?
That is impressive.
It's pretty close.
I would not have got that.
Oh.
You know what would have happened if it were me in your seat?
What?
I would have not gotten it, and then when you told me what it was, I would have been like, "Oh, Desmond Mason." You got it.
I got it. Yeah. That was a weird pull, but I'm a good one.
Who is the only
'Cause
Blazer
he was not a very good player.
to win the dunk contest?
The only Blazer?
Daniel's a Blazer fan, so
Yeah.
he should know this.
He should know this.
I know the name that comes to mind quickly.
I think this player put, if I'm remembering right, put like a suction cup thing on the top of the backboard, and then like grabbed it and dunked it.
Dude, I'm so glad you said that. I was thinking a completely different
You were
direction.
thinking of Sean Kemp.
Blazer?
Sorry.
I was thinking of
trying to confuse you.
I was thinking of Clyde Drexler.
Oh, Clyde the
But
Glide.
yeah,
Great
but
player.
they didn't think about suction cups back when he was playing. That
There were
sounded-
no suction cups in the 90s? Or
that not that they didn't do all the
Fun
weird
fact, they hadn't
showman
been
stuff.
invented yet.
when were suction cups invented? Hey Siri,
Hey
when were
Siri.
suction cups invented? Suction cups were invented in the 3rd century BC.
What?
So you are
Dude.
wrong by like 2,000 years.
Dude, demons. Am I right?
Same ones who built the pyramids.
Well, the pyramids were well before that.
Yes, well before that.
But it was the same demons.
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't it something weird like? Isn't it like Anthony Simons?
Final answer.
Sure.
In 2021, Anthony Simons won the dunk contest. Daniel, you are doing really well.
Is that one of
Nailing
the
it.
worst names that there is?
Anthony?
It's like it's designed to confuse people.
Yes. 100%. That's why
They
the
call him
previous
Ant.
Anthony went as Penny.
Yeah.
This one even that was better.
I was-
And
one
this
they
one
call
goes
Ant.
as Ant
Yeah.
because even that is better.
Ant Simons, but
Yep.
there's no T in his name, so.
Yep, that's weird.
Daniel, final question. And you know what? Gosh darn it, you're doing so well. If you get this right, you get Beef Zone. Wrong, you're in the Coug Zone.
Is this what Beaver won the dunk contest?
It's a win-win.
Because I don't know.
No Beavers have ever won a dunk contest of
Are you
any
sure
kind.
about that?
Even when Oregon State had its own dunk contest, there was no winner.
That's pretty funny.
Okay.
That's almost as funny as your SEC conference games 500% winning percentage.
The reason I
That
did
threw
that
me so
is
hard.
because ESPN actually put up a graphic
You're kidding me.
that said that the SEC was only 500 in conference play. And then when everyone realized how stupid that was,
kidding
a
me.
reporter asked one of the coaches from one of the really good teams about that, and then everyone had a good laugh.
That's
Obviously, in conference play, there's a winner and loser in every game. Chase, just so you know, I know you're a Duke fan, so you're a little slow up here. There's always a winner and loser in every game. So in conference play, you can only be 500.
Unfortunately.
unless it's soccer.
That's true. Good point. Daniel, last question for the Beef Zone.
Francis says, Andrew, very judgy with non-traditional A names. Careful, Anchor Uncle got some issues.
Anchor isn't trying to pretend to be a different name. That's my issue with Anthony is that
You're
people
saying-
just think that you're pronouncing Anthony wrong.
Like who names their kid Shad? Sorry, Shad. I take it back. Daniel.
one less friend. In
Oh gosh. I have so few to begin with. Especially now that I learned Chase isn't my friend. That puts me down to like 4. And you guys are 2 of them. Half of them are dead. Daniel.
Daniel's from Aberdeen.
Hey.
Daniel.
I'm not happy about that, sir.
Sir! Feels good to laugh. Daniel. Who won the dunk contest? Let me try again.
Who won the dunk contest?
Let me try again. Daniel, who won the dunk contest in 2020, then became a Blazer the next season? Going back to your wheelhouse of Blazers basketball.
okay.
Won the dunk contest in 2020, then became a Blazer the following season.
That was one of those weird COVID years.
This
right?
is anti-me, but I'm really rooting for you here. I want you to get the Beavs, though. Because I've already lost like 4 friends. And I can't lose anymore.
Well, am I still in the kook zone if I don't get this?
Yeah. So we can still be friends?
So it's a pretty great zone.
Oh, thank God.
This is a tough one.
Is it?
Well, I'm not remembering it off the top of my head, but I feel like I should because this is like prime Dame Lillard, like paying attention years.
This is prime, like, we need to keep Dame. Let's bring guys in to be part of it.
So I feel like I should remember this.
If you don't remember it, you're gonna feel dumb when you forget.
That's why I'm like, I don't remember it off the top of my head, but I feel like I'm gonna be really frustrated when you tell me, and I'm like, oh, that guy. That guy
Jumps real high.
Chase says the SEC gets overrated in college basketball every year. Also, Justin, I'm well aware that there is a winner and loser in every game. Who was the winner and loser in the Duke UNC game? I forgot. Oh, sick burn.
I don't think he forgot. I think he's lying.
Hot take. Duke should get 2 wins for that game. I'll still spell it D-O-O-K because I don't think they deserve to be spelled the correct way. But they should get 2 wins for that game because they're so much better. And I'm not looking forward to the Chapel Hill.
Oh, I'm picturing him.
Okay.
He was supposed to be good at defense.
What does he look like?
If
What
you
does he
can
look
draw
like?
a picture of the player.
Yes, draw a picture. Do you have a pen? Do you have a
Derek
pen?
Johnson?
Draw a
Derek
picture.
Williams?
Draw a picture.
Williams Derek?
Where's a pen? Do you have a pen? Draw a picture of him. Draw a picture of what he looks like.
This is going to be so bad.
I really want you to win.
This is going to be so bad.
Okay. Yes. So far, so good.
Just gonna be like, it was a person with a head.
He does smile. That's it. It's Derek Jones Jr.
Derek,
you got it.
I knew it was Derek. I knew it was Derek, generic last name. Derek Johnson Williams. Derek Jones Jr. You did it. You did it. Congratulations. This is the picture.
You're in the beef zone. That's exactly what he looks like. You nailed it, and you didn't even draw his body. And I knew exactly who you were talking about. Derek Jones Jr.
Yes. Oh, man. We need to go.
One of the many guys that the Blazers signed so that they could make up for Damian Lillard's defensive inefficiencies.
Yes, he came over from Miami.
Yeah.
I remember that. Oh, man.
So I think that's going to do it for our show tonight.
My dad said Sean Kemp, Lonnie Shelton on the Sonics and the Blazers ones. They were both incorrect, Dad. I had us covered.
Well, you did your best. Beef zone.
Also, my wife was like, I thought you said you didn't want to tell everybody where we were going on our vacation.
Coos Bay!
Great. Now you're going to have paparazzi.
I'm actually, paparazzi. Watch out for that. I'm pretty sure you actually said it on last week's show.
Did I really?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, man.
So I really have to go to the bathroom.
And we need to go. We're late.
Let's close out the show for today. So for my co-host, Daniel Derek Jones Jr. Hargrove.
And my co-host, Justin Dunk Contest.
Oh, boy. And our trusty producer, Andrew, is right about stuff, and Justin doesn't like it. Gross.
We need to delete, like, the last part of that show.
I loved it.
Oh, no.
Thanks for listening to The Scrimmage.
When mispronouncing words gets the best of you.